Hello, I'm George Thomas. Welcome to the third part of our journey from Minehead to Bishop's Lydeard. We're just leaving Williton, heading over the level crossing. We can see the signal is off just before the A39 bridge. And we're going to pass over a new bridge over the stream here. This was built 3 or 4 years ago when the signalling was altered at Williton and the loop was extended. This means that we can take slightly longer trains at Williton, cross longer trains, and also trains can arrive simultaneously, which speeds up the process for when trains cross each other. Williton, of course, being the main crossing point on the line. So from a firing point of view, this is the trickiest bit of the line. From Williton to Crowcombe is uphill for 6 miles, more or less 1 in 100 all the way. So we need to make sure we've got a decent amount of water in the boiler and a good fire as we leave Williton. Otherwise, things can go quite wrong quite quickly. So we're just waiting for the rear of the train to clear the points before we can get up to 25 miles an hour. Here's the section signal. There are 2 options for tokens leaving Williton. Usually you would have the Williton to Crowcombe token, but when the Crowcombe box is switched out, when we're running a slightly less intensive train service, you can have a token from Williton to Bishop's Lydeard, which is what we've got today. We're just passing over Doniford Stream. And we're now accelerating hard up to line speed of 25 miles an hour. And we're on a gradient of 1 in 99, climbing at 1 in 99. So you'll be firing pretty much all the way from Williton until a mile or 2 after Stogumber. 6 or 7 shovelfuls every couple of minutes. And the ejector will be on for most of the way. This is Teddy Bear Crossing. Just on the left you can see quite a lot of teddy bears attached to a post. Castle Hill is on the left and Doniford Stream to the right. We're coming up to quite an iconic photo spot on the right-hand side. At galas, there are lots of people pointing video cameras at the trains as we accelerate up the hill over Sanford Bridge. Here's the distance signal in the down direction for Williton and a plate layer's hut. And we're just about to cross over the main road to Taunton. This is Sanford Bridge. Sanford Bridge. There's the AWS ramp for the distance signal and a whistle board for the cutting here. Just about to pass over a farm crossing, which is on a curve, so important to keep an eye out if you're the fireman. So the driver might not be able to see if he's on the wrong side of the bend. And we've just gone past milepost 177, 177 miles from Paddington via Bristol and Bath. And we're climbing at 1 in 91 now. So we can see the Quantock Hills ahead. We're heading inland from the sea, which we left behind at Doniford, heading alongside the Quantocks now. We're just about to approach a former railway cottage on the left, which is now a lovely holiday let. It's quite often some people waving. In fact, there's a hot tub in the garden, just there on the left. No one to say hello today, though. This is Woolston Bridge, and this is the only level section of track between Williton and Crowcombe. Just this short stretch between Woolston Bridge and Cottiford Bridge. We're on the level now. So this is Cottiford Bridge, and once we pass under it, we'll be back into the climb again at 1 in 100. The plate layers hut on the left. And we'll be firing once every couple of minutes, 5 to 6 shovelfuls evenly around the box, keeping the back end up. Injector will more than likely be on most of the way. Another whistle board for a foot crossing in this cutting here, which is 15-mile cutting. Some lovely sweeping curves on the railway on this stretch, some really nice sections of P-way. And another foot crossing. And we're just about to pass over Bicknoller Bridge. This is Bicknoller Bridge. Gradient steepens here to 1 in 92 as we pass Turk's Castle. And we're just about to cross over Newton Road Bridge. This is Newton Road Bridge. Working trains in the night along this stretch, it's almost pitch black. It's very, very different railway at night. But there are some lights at Yard Farm, which is what we're passing now. We're just about to go over Yard Farm Bridge. Not far to go to Stogumber now. This is Kingswood Bridge. We're just about to pass over. Kingswood Bridge here. And closely followed by Cork Hill Bridge and milepost 175 by the whistle board. So this is Cork Hill Bridge just here. And you can see Stogumber platform. Gradient eases slightly through Stogumber Station 1 in 176. Really lovely spot, Stogumber Station. They do a cracking cream tea which you can enjoy in the garden to the left. Just as well they do some food here because it's a long walk to the village, which I would recommend though because they have a lovely pub there and a nice church as well, but it is well over a mile, I'd say. See the cattle dock, which they're restoring just to the left, which has a short bit of track laid alongside it. Quick look at the fire at Stogumber Station. There's still quite a lot of climbing to do. And just leaving Stogumber station, as we pass over Stogumber Bridge, the gradient increases very briefly to 1 in 68. So it's quite a sharp pull out of Stogumber. You can see the gradient post just to the left, indicating the gradient easing to 1 in 100, which continues more or less all the way to Crowcombe. So it's about 2 and a bit miles of 1 in 100 now. I'm thinking about the fire as we're leaving Stogumber. It's quite a delicate balancing act, because obviously you need to make sure you've got enough steam and water to get to Crowcombe, but you don't want to overdo it and blow off all the way down the hill to Bishop's Lydeard, which would just be wasteful, and coal is not cheap. So once the driver has wound the reverser back a bit, then we'll be having another look in the fire and maybe filling in a couple of holes. We're just about to cross over Norrish Road Bridge. Norrish Road Bridge. Which is quickly followed by Waterbridge. This is Waterbridge. And just on the left here is the site of Lee Loop. Used to be another passing loop here, which they used for high days in the holidays when lots of trains would make their way to Minehead. Now we just use it to store some sleepers. But lots of talk. Who knows, maybe one day. This, of course, being another long section from Williton to Crowcombe, which is one of the capacity constraints on the line. We're just passing over another greaser. You've noticed on these curves, there's been quite a lot of greasers to reduce flange wear. We're just coming into Lee Wood. This is Lee Bridge and the crossing sign for Lee Wood Crossing, which is coming up. Another classic photo location here. Nice plate layers hat on the left. And there's the whistle board for Lee Wood Crossing. 25 miles an hour over this crossing. Looking out for a flashing white light on the left. No barriers on this one, just wigwags. This is Lee Wood Crossing. Beautifully maintained stretch of line side here. There's a dedicated team who look after it, and they can be seen in action on the left here. You can see they have got a bonfire and some cheery waves from the men in orange by the side. Still climbing at 1 in 100. Just coming up to Roebuck Farm Bridge, which precedes a lovely long sweeping right-hand bend. So this is Roebuck Farm Bridge. And just to the left you can see Stones Wood as we curve around to the right. That black cross on a white background indicates another level crossing coming up. Roebuck Gate crossing is just ahead. Again, 25 miles over that. No gates, but there are wigwags, so we'll be watching out for a flashing white light as we come around the corner. There's the striking inboard. And there's a combined whistle board and 25-mile-an-hour speed restriction board as well. There's the flashing white light just on the right-hand side. Lovely house on the left, but we've got no time to look at that because we're keeping our eyes firmly on the crossing. And just round the corner is Waterdean crossing. It's a farm crossing which can be quite busy, especially around harvest time. And providing the water isn't reasonably high up, we're patting ourselves on the back now because we're more or less made it to the top of the line at Crowcombe Heathfield. Just a few hundred yards to go now as we cross over Waterdean crossing. There's the AWS magnet for the Crowcombe distant. Here's the distance signal. And as we approach the bridge, the gradient eases to 1 in 116. You can see the gradient board just to the left, we've just passed. This is Crowcombe Bridge, and we're looking out for the signal just beyond it. Because we've got the long token today, we're going straight on. So the box is switched out. We've got a Williton to Bishop's Lydeard token. Normally, if we were crossing a train here, we'd get the signal to the left and go into the loop. But we're just heading straight on today. There's a speed restriction of 10 miles an hour into the station. Some nice relatively new houses on the left, which I think do fit in quite well with the more period property on the left just here. There's a very small stretch of broad gauge track just to the right on the platform, which is worth a look at. Lovely waiting room and signal box. It's really picture postcard stuff, Crowcombe Heathfield. And the line is level here. Well, there we go. We've made it to the summit of the West Somerset Railway. I hope you'll join us for part 4, where we'll run down the hill to Bishop's Lydeard. Thanks for watching.